And for more on the JFK documents getting released from the White House, we turn to Andrew Kreig, an investigative reporter who organized a conference of top experts on this matter at the National Press Club. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's get into why now? Why are these records now being released?
Because it was mandated by Congress, in effect, by a unanimous vote in 1992 by both the House and the Senate to answer questions about what many people consider the crime of the century. And you just had Judge Thunheim, who headed the board that evaluated these documents in the 1990s, and a 25-year extension on release of the documents expires today.
All right, and so far the documents have not been released. What do you say to that?
Well, I've been following that very closely until just a couple minutes before our broadcast today. It appears that this could partly be explained by confusion in the White House, pressure by the agencies, and maybe just some normal bureaucratic incompetence or inexperience.
Speaking of that, according to Trump's advisor Roger Stone, CIA Director Mike Pompeo, he's been arguing for a further delay of the release of these documents. And the Washington Post had reported a National Security Council official said government agencies were urging Trump to block some of the files from being released. Now, in your opinion, why do you think that is?
Well, it's not that there's any what we call smoking gun evidence. It's not as if anyone ever wrote a memo talking about assassinations. That would be clear-cut evidence. But in law, and I'm an attorney who's followed this, circumstantial evidence or context can be very important in both crime solving, but also to citizens to understand what's going on. And it's likely that experts and scholars can connect many dots that are quite embarrassing to not only government agencies, but those that they worked with in the private sector.
Now, if the government is to release these documents today, do you believe they will release all of the documents surrounding JFK's assassination?
Probably not, because there's an exception in this law and others for national security reasons, which is often invoked, and typically in this kind of case, to remove some areas that may affect arguably national security, but also just pure embarrassment. So we can look for a lot of blacked out and other redactions.
Do you think anything substantial will come from this release?
Well, I do. If the documents are released, we will further fit in the jigsaw puzzle where we pretty much know the outlines already from 4 million pages of previously released documents, over 2,500 books, and many witness accounts. So if you think of it as a puzzle, we know most of what's going on, but these missing sensitive pieces of the jigsaw puzzle will be very revealing. And I'm sad to say that if significant parts of them are kept back, that will be excruciatingly revealing that there are still those who want to thwart our system of government where Congress ordered these documents released.
Does the U.S. government owe the American people the truth about what took place during JFK's assassination?
Well, absolutely. It's a murder case, and in a murder case, all of the evidence is supposed to come out. And this is a pivotally important historic murder case, because the suspicion is that many people wanted him dead because he was reaching out for peace in the world, specifically in Vietnam and with Cuba and with the Soviet Union. And there's a larger historical context, you mentioned it in the opening, that even people who appear as guests on your shows on RT are now being criticized. And I thought about that in coming here, but I think that just as the release of documents is vindication of our American values, Americans should not feel pressure not to appear on a news show and say what we'd say any other place.
And we're more than happy that you joined us. We're going to have to leave it right there. Thank you so much for your insight. That was Andrew Kreig, investigative reporter, who organized a conference of top experts on this matter at the National Press Club. Thank you so much.
Thank you.